it is Nikki. Welcome back to the channel. This weekend I finally finished reading through Rook for the third time when I probably should have been doing my philosophy readings, which means that I can finally do my video raving about all the things I love about this, probably my favorite YA book that I have ever read in my life. If you have not read Rook before, here's the long and short of it. History is repeating itself, so our time in history has come and passed and all our technology has failed, so that in the world of Rook it takes place hundreds of years after us, but it's a world that looks a lot like the French Revolution period in France and Britain. So it's like historical in the sense that the whole world is modeled after the 1700s, but it's in the future. So it's a very like quirky twist on the French Revolution, which allows her to kind of take that in whatever direction she wants. Our main character is a Commonwealth or English girl named Sophia Bellamy, who is engaged or betrothed to this obnoxious Parisian aristocrat because her family is like in horrible debt and they need the marriage fee or they will lose everything. But Sophia is also the mysterious Red Rook who sneaks into corrupt Paris to smuggle out the prisoners that are going to be put to the guillotine. The Red Rook is like this heroic, almost mythological figure that rescues people, but nobody knows that it's Sophia Bellamy. However, little does Sophia know that her obnoxious Parisian fiancé is also more than he seems, and the two of them have to team up to pull off the Red Rook's most elaborate and most personal operation yet. So it's like a heist book, it's a prison break, it's a romance, so much suspense, so much intrigue, and also just a really well-written novel. And now for the good part, Nikki's short list of things to love about Rook. Go. So number one, just to get this one out of the way, romantic tension. So well done in this book. Dialogue between Sophia and Renee, that's her fiance's name, Renee, it's just sparkling, and the tension between them is so palpable. It like drives the story in some ways, but doesn't like subtract or distract from the actual important intrigue plot, which I really appreciate. I really like that they're able to maturely focus on the actual primary plot and let the romance plot do what it should, which is like support and drive and just spice up the main plot. It's not just like teen angst. Like they're a great team. They work together and use their skills together to get the job done while they have this incredible tension going on. So fun. Number two is a strong female character who is also likable, which are not words that Nikki says often, so this is a big deal. What I love about Sophia is that like she is a strong girl who is just so secure in her identity as a strong girl, can go to a ball dressed in finery and then put on her breeches and pick up a sword and go do something awesome and then, you know, go to bed in her nightgown that night. I love that. And I feel like the author really could have leaned on the like, I am no man storyline, but like she didn't. I could just sit back and enjoy watching Sophia be awesome. Number three, Frenchness. Renee is French. Need I say more? Side note, my rudimentary training in high school French actually allows me to read the French dialogue in this book and totally understand it, which brings me no end of joy. So thank you to all of my high school and elementary school French teachers over the years. Not that you need to understand French to read this book, it's just like a couple lines here and there and they always translate, but it's fun when you don't need the translation and you already know what they're saying. Number four, Sharon Cameron uses POV just masterfully. And I don't know if it's because it's indie. I think it's indie. Hang on, let me confirm. Maybe it's not indie. I don't know. The point is, for whatever reason, Sharon Cameron kind of like bends genre convention a little bit, I think, and does some things that I haven't seen a lot of in other YA, really using POV to her advantage to just build suspense in the most delicious way. And that, for me as a writer, that is why I love Rook. The author isn't afraid to spend some time in a character's POV and then like zoom out at the end of the scene and just leap to like an omniscient narrator for a sec, purely to just build suspense, jolt the reader a little bit, and draw our attention to something we might not have seen otherwise. Like, oh, you thought you knew what the scene was about, but did you notice the guy peeling out of the shadows and following this character into the night? She also uses it to jack up like pacing and intensity, bouncing faster and faster between different characters and in shorter increments. As the stakes rise, so do the amount of POVs being used in a given chapter or a given section of the story, which I really loved because it makes it play like a movie. And as the scenes speed up, you can feel the intensity speeding up too. Another thing that I appreciated is that she was not afraid to use just any character that she felt was fitting for that moment. She didn't just stick to the main two leads, and I love it when authors can just use whatever characters they want to drive home the effect that they want to drive home. Number five, hypercompetence. Everyone in the story, all the main characters are just so good at what they do, and it's not just Sophia. She kind of has like a team around her that works just like a well-oiled machine, which is so fun to watch. You're not wasting time seeing anybody like develop skills because they're all just really skilled at what they do already, and so it's just so much fun to watch hypercompetence competent people just do their thing. And number 6, to loop back sort of to the romance, not only do Sophia and Renee just make my heart sing, but we just see a couple of really nice kisses. Sharon Cameron doesn't really give us any more than that, which I so appreciate, because the book is just so well written that there is zero need to cheapen it with any explicit scenes, and I really respect that the author stayed firm on that, and that's something I really respect about the Lunar Chronicles too, but that is another video, and that's like 1,000 bonus points for this already really strong book. My one like main critique of the book, which again, it doesn't really bother me, it doesn't affect how I feel about the book, but you know, for the sake of being unbiased and putting something out there, my one critique is that fate and luck do play a somewhat central role in the book. The villain kind of sees them as deities and sees himself as like the instrument of fate on Earth, which is like a really awesome, creepy outfit to dress a villain in. The only problem with that is that major hinge points in the story do rely on like chance. For example, the story might have been a lot shorter and ended on page 150 instead of 310, if not for like a really lucky coin toss that happened to go in our favor. Things like that. It doesn't happen too often, but it can feel a little bit convenient. I'm a strong believer in everything in a story having a cause and not happening by chance. I never want to feel like, oh, that happened because it needed to happen. I think the fact that she made it part of her villain's religion kind of hangs a lantern on it and helps it to fly under the radar. Like, we can be okay with that because, okay, it has a purpose in the story. Other than that, great book. Love pretty much everything about it, and I will probably reread it again and again and again because that's what I do with books that I love. I could go on. I won't, but I could. And I will continue to reread it and to recommend it to everyone as just a phenomenally well-written, addictive and intriguing and suspenseful, clean, fresh YA read. Thanks so much for watching this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to like and subscribe and comment below with a book that makes you feel the way that Rook makes me feel. And as always, do not forget to spend some time in the clouds today.